Friends, I wanted to show you how to just kind of mess around with your instrument and make some cool sounds. You can have a lot of knowledge for this, you can have zero knowledge for this. Either way, this is just some tips on how to really start to write your own songs on guitar. So for this exercise, I'm going to be using a capo. And a capo, the clip is at the top of the guitar. The flat part of the capo is going to be on the neck, on the top, where the frets are, and then this goes around the back. You can see how the curve matches it. So I'm going to just clip that on capo 4, so that's going to be on the 4th fret, right before the metal bar, or even on it. Is you just want to make sure that whenever you strum it, they're all clean notes. Okay, so I'm going to start there, and I'm just going to try to think about shapes or sounds that sound good to me, okay? So here's what it sounds just with a capo. So we just raise the pitch of the guitar. Let's see what this one sounds like. All right, that worked. I'm gonna add another finger. That wasn't much of a difference. Ooh, that was good, okay. So I ended up doing this like E7 shape here, okay? So that's my first finger's on the 1st fret underneath the capo on the G string, and then on the A string, 2nd fret, okay? So, now, if I lift up my pointer finger, what does that sound like? Still works. If I lift up my middle finger, what does that sound like? Now that was 3 different chord shapes. I'm only using 2 fingers for this, and it actually sounded pretty rad, okay? Another thing that, if you have a really crappy amp, you're not gonna sound good. No matter what you do, if your amp is crappy, don't think that you suck at guitar. It might just be because your amp sounds like crap. Now I'm using this, PV amp, which isn't the best, but it has, a chorus sound. I can add reverb to it, which I will. And it just adds a lot to the instrument. So I'm going to put some sequences together and just kind of play around with it and then see what happens if I move the shape to different parts of the neck. So so that one worked. I scooted my same shape. I just scooted the whole shape up to my 1st finger being on the 4th fret down from the capo. And I'm just going to speak in terms of from the capo, right? So 4th fret and 5th fret, I just slid it up. Now if I lift up my pointer finger, does it still sound okay? It does. If I lift up my middle finger, does it still sound okay? So that's another sequence of 3 different chords that I could use in my mix here. I'm not convinced on if that was a cool rhythm. Yeah, Cadence. Yay! The internet's working now. Woohoo! Now I could go. And I am just playing around with different shapes, different rhythms. I'm not even doing anything crazy strumming. I'm just doing down strums. All right? And it's ending up sounding pretty freaking cool. So, we think in terms of song structure of what we want to do. I will repeat the same progression, and a chord progression is just the order that you play the stuff in. So let's say this is my verse, the thing I was playing a second ago. That's my verse. okay? And then that would repeat, and then I would think of a different sequence for the chorus, which might end up going up here. Okay, that would end up being my chorus. And then you can also have pre-choruses and post-choruses, which, so if I'm writing the song, and let's say it's verse, chorus, if I want a pre-chorus, it's like every time before I do the chorus, this thing happens. That's not the chorus. It tends to be like a shorter few measures. So I could have a lead up with a pre-chorus that would be like, I'll just be like the last time around on the verse. Before, but that is an example. So the same applies to like post-chorus. I can do post-chorus with just like a different small riff or words that repeat on the post-chorus each time. Think of like when we did the Adele song, how there was a pre-chorus every time. So same principle there. I don't know if I did that on guitar though. I think I did that one on bass. Anyway, that Adele Rolling in the Deep song has an example of a pre-chorus. The stars you could have had it all. That's where it goes to the chorus. Okay, so you can think about what you want here, come up with some riff progressions, and be like, okay, this is phrase 1, I'm going to do with the verse, and just get a paper and pen out and write, all right, verse 1, this sequence. And if you're using a capo, you might not even know what chords you're playing, but you could still just write the tabs or like draw 6 strings on a guitar. You could actually just do chord charts and write what number fret and put a dot on what finger your thing goes on so you can remember it. Because trust me, even though you think you would never ever forget it, you will. So it's always good to write that stuff down. All right, that's it for your lesson today. I would love for you to share some riffs you come up with in the Facebook group. See you next week.